It is not an accident either that the proponents of these ideas gained prominence in universities in the late 80s or 90s. As the class struggle receded, an extensive anti-Marxist campaign was undertaken in universities. Individuals who had been engaged in the revolutionary movements of the 70s and 80s were taken into universities and installed in comfortable jobs for the purpose of attacking Marxism. These attacks were part of a crude, openly pro-capitalist variety, but others were more veiled and cunning. Intersectionality and identity politics allowed the, quote, left intellectuals a convenient way of deserting the class struggle and abandoning socialism while continuing to pay lip service to, quote, progressive causes. It is no accident that these ideas are being pushed throughout the education system today by the ruling class. For example, queer theory can be traced to the wave of postmodernism and other idealist and subjectivist ideas, which developed as a reaction to Marxism in recent decades. A recently declassified CIA report from 1985 called France, Defection of the Left Intellectuals, reveals the delight of the intelligence agency with the rightward drift in academia. Similarly, the CIA was involved in covertly supporting a number of, quote, anti-totalitarian left-wing publications, such as Partisan Review, Der Monat, which published articles against Adorno and Arendt, among others, Mundo Nuevo, and so on. The common theme running through these journals was a defense of the, quote, intellectual in contrast to the class struggle. It was precisely from the hands of these intellectuals that the bourgeois and petty bourgeois ideas dominating the university today arose. Foucault is seen as the father of queer theory. As the class struggle ebbed, in the wake of countless betrayals by the leaders, these ladies and gentlemen concluded that it was in fact the class struggle and the working class which was flawed, and not its leadership. They merely adapted their, quote, philosophy to the interests of the bourgeoisie and the labor bureaucracy. In their minds, the class struggle was dissolved into a series of infinite small individual struggles with no common characteristics. Insofar as they acknowledged the class struggle, they disparaged the alleged, quote, backwardness of the working class and called for a change in the, quote, discourse, rather than a bold lead from the cowardly leaders at the head of the movement. As we see from the CIA report, the ruling class, far from feeling threatened by any of these, quote, radical vogue ideas, welcomed them wholeheartedly as valuable tools in the ideological struggle against Marxism. Been saying this for years.